Well, we have the newly released dramatic video of a police shootout in New Mexico.
A convicted bank robber, who investigators say shot at officers, is shot and killed by a deputy. This happened south of Roswell. Now, before we take you to the video, we ask you, if you have kids around, please, this may be a good time to take them into another room because the video is violent and graphic.
So we're still rolling northbound, about 4 miles an hour.
Okay, back in October, Cristobal Quintana was on parole for bank robbery. He was out of prison just 2 months when a state police sergeant tried to go ahead and pull him over for driving with a flat tire. Police say Quintana wouldn't stop, starting a very slow speed pursuit. You heard him there talk about 4 miles an hour. Well, that led to a shootout with cops and deputies. State Police Sergeant Lawrence Murray got hit in the upper leg. He is okay. Now, a Chavez County deputy later shot Quintana in the head, and we are told he died in the ambulance. Well, another police shooting now, this one where an Albuquerque police officer shoots at a car in Rio Rancho after officers say the driver tried to ram a police car. Rio Rancho police say an elite team from Albuquerque that tracks down wanted criminals tailed Jeremy Robertson from Albuquerque to the parking lot of a Walgreens at Southern and 528. Robertson, we are told, has a long criminal record. Investigators say when he saw them, he tried to ram a cop car.
Got in his vehicle and attempted to flee. APD rope unit detectives attempted to shoot out the tires of the vehicle so that the suspect wouldn't flee.
Robertson managed to get out of the parking lot, but officers caught him about a mile away. They haven't said if he had a gun or if any of the shots hit his car.
The owner of a North Valley cemetery says someone is leaving dead chickens on grave sites. The owner of Romero Cemetery says for the last 2 years he has woken up to see this, dead chickens. He says, well, that's not the video there. Here we go. He says that sometimes the chickens are left in bags and sometimes they're just left to rot on grave sites.
I don't know who does this. I mean, if it's witchcraft or what, I don't know what they get out of doing this. You know, this is every other week, sometimes 2 weeks, or sometimes every other day.
Now, most of the cemetery is fenced off, but the owner says he hopes to put up a gate to keep cars out at night. A stolen laptop wouldn't be such a big deal, but this one has the personal information of more than 12,000 Albuquerque cancer patients. According to New Mexico Cancer Center's website, in November, someone swiped the laptop from an employee in the Office of Oncology and Hematology. The names, birthdays, and in some cases addresses and diagnostics may be compromised. The website says Social Security numbers were not on the laptop. Patients who are affected have been notified.
We are only 10 days into the new year, and one person here in New Mexico has already died of the flu. The health department says a 76-year-old woman in Santa Fe County died because of it, but they're not saying what specific strain killed her. H1N1, or what we call the swine flu, is the popular strain this season. Experts say you still have time to get the flu shot, and if you're older than 6 months, you should. Well, a deadly case of H5N1, that is the bird flu, has been reported to our neighbors in the north in Canada. Doctors say a person got the flu after going to China late last month. That person went to the hospital on January 1st and died 2 days later. The H5N1 bird flu is not the same as the seasonal flu, although the symptoms are similar. It kills about 60% of those who get it, is normally spread with contact with infected birds.
The risk of transmission is very low. There is no evidence of sustained human-to-human transmission.
Now, the person who died, we were told, did not go to a farm or markets in Beijing, and doctors are now trying to figure out exactly how that person got the flu.
Well, here's a bit of good news. New Mexico will soon be getting the money to fix some highways that were damaged in last year's floods. The New Mexico Department of Transportation will receive $1.6 million from the feds to repair and reconstruct highways damaged in September's flooding. The Federal Highway Administration authorized the grant through an emergency relief program. However, it is not clear exactly which highways will be benefiting from the money. The massive $656 million Mega Millions jackpot last month helped bolster the New Mexico Lottery scholarship. According to the New Mexico Lottery, ticket sales jumped 26% in December compared to December of 2012. That comes out to be about $13.7 million, which is up from $10.8 million last year. $4 million of that went to the lottery scholarship program.
All right, you think you have problems? Well, imagine this, trying to convince the government that you are not dead.
Apparently, it's what happened to one man in Texas who was told he was no longer living. 81-year-old William Earl Smith was told he was deceased after the bank returned his Social Security check.
Well, it was a little bit of a shock, but I knew I was still walking around. Last Friday, I was notified that I'd been deceased. They sent my Social Security check back.
That's a scary thought. Meals on Wheels even brought Smith his food and what they thought was his obituary. Smith was eventually able to clear up the confusion, but says this isn't the first time this has happened. He says a similar mix-up happened back when he was stationed in Korea.